Hello there. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, Super Energetic MJ. And for today's video, we're going to have our discussion number three and discussion number four for the outdoor and adventure recreation in physical education three. This is your Super Mom, MJ Bernitas. And I welcome all my students who are here in our channel, viewing our channel, and to those guests as well who wish to learn more about physical education theory. So let's get started. Let's have discussion three first. Our main topic for this is recreation in the Philippines yesterday and today. We're going to compare what happened from different periods of times until nowadays that we are facing pandemic, how recreation evolves itself. So let's get started. Well, this is actually an activity during my synchronous class. And for those who was not able to attend in our synchronous class, you don't have to worry. I will be sending a link, a Google Form link, where you can answer this Throwback 101. And I will still tag you as present if you have completed watching this video already, because these are actually the same things that I've discussed during our live session earlier. So keep watching, guys. For this Throwback 101, you're going to share your past experience and your present experience with regard to recreational activities that you are indulged in. So, way back when you were still elementary, high school, what are the things that you're fond of doing? And now, in your present time, I know it's pandemic, so what are the recreational activities that you enjoy most? So, please answer the Google Form link that I have sent in our group chat. Okay? So let's now jump into the recreational activities that the people during prehistoric times enjoy or indulge with so much of their time. So, from the Taban man to Negritos, our ancestors hunted animals for their food and defense. So, they had small amount of time to think of activities for recreation, except for feasts during ceremonial celebrations like rituals for rain and bounty. Unlike the Indonesians, who were more advanced compared to the Negritos, they also hunted animals, but they practices agriculture and planted food crops. They cooked their food and made stones, axes, adsols, and chisels. They also celebrated different ceremonies and rituals. So basically, during the prehistoric time, their recreation evolves more into the survival mode, right? They are more into rituals. That's actually for them to encourage, the rain. It's actually part of the culture in the Philippines. It's part of the feast, right? So they also needed to survive in their daily life, so they hunted animals and they practice agriculture. So even way back before, we already have plantitos and plantitas, and that is actually not for their leisure time, but it's really for them to survive. So that is how it looked like way back during prehistoric time. So now let's jump to Spaniards' time. So in the period of Spaniards, they introduced Christianity. Okay, so this is more into the religious aspect where they start introducing to us the holidays, and this is where we are now enjoying all the kinds of festivals in our places. We have Kabkaban Festival, we have Sinulog Festival, and any other types of festival. And these are the influence from our Spaniards or the Spanish regime. And this is actually where most people participated in various activities for entertainment purposes. And now let's go to the American period. So they're they're more into sports. They've introduced different types of sports such as volleyball, basketball, and many other sports game activities where in fact until nowadays we are enjoying all of it. And it's part of my major, physical education. So, meaning Americans really did a big chunk when it comes to our physical education activities, most particularly the sports related activities. So, those are the recreation during the American time. Now, let's jump to today, okay? So a lot of Filipinos value the importance of recreation. Yes, we cannot deny that. We are fond of doing recreational activities. People from all walks of life allot their time to relax and have some fun. In street corners, especially in the rural areas, older men do cockfighting, or they are seen in the barber shop to discussing about problems or any topic. The older women, on the other hand, play different card games like Panggege games, and this is actually happening in your barangay or in your place. You can see all these things, and maybe your mom or your dad or your papa and mama loves to do this stuff, and even yourself, right? These are the common things that we can see in our environment. So some women also play bingo or are gossiping as form of socialization. Well, children play competitive sports and games. Most common games include tugging games, tatsing, skipping rope, patintero or pico. Some girls are also playing bahay-bahayan. There's also change in the lives of the people in the rural area today. Rich people still often play mahjong while gossiping about almost everything and everyone. Nowadays, people are more engaged in social media, guys. We are now more into online activities, and most especially in this trying time of pandemic. So we cannot deny the fact that there is really a big change. It evolved 360-degree from the time where we have not experienced yet the pandemic until such time that COVID-19 struck our lives. So as what you have observed, most of the activities that's mentioned earlier, we're no longer engaged so much time with these because of the COVID-19. So nowadays we are more into online. But as your physical education teacher, I really, really would encourage all of you to still spend a little time with safety protocol and safety guidelines to do some of the outdoor activities that I will be mentioning later because it's really, really important for our health. Okay, so what's in it for you as a college student if you engage yourself to this recreational activity? Well, recreation plays a vital role in our lives. It's the best time to unleash and escape temporarily from the stress that may cause you from your studies or personal life. Thus, engaging yourself with any recreational activities will absolutely help you lessen your worries and free up your mind from the stressors in your daily life. So, these are just few of the examples, and let me elaborate each. Like, for example, if you engage yourself to recreational activities, first benefit that you will have is a healthy environment. Like, for example, being a plantito or plantita will absolutely go a long way to creating a healthy environment, right? So that's pretty obvious that you are hitting two birds in one stone, right? You are enjoying your hobby at the same time. That's actually what you call hobby recreation, planting, being a plantita or plantito, and while you're also creating a healthy environment. So sounds great, right? Second is abundant economies. In what form? Well, if you are more into fitness recreation, then we cannot deny the fact that gyms nowadays are really, really affected with this pandemic. And we cannot deny the fact that economy is really affected as well. So if you are more into those kinds of recreation, then absolutely you are helping bringing back the economy to, maybe not in the normal state yet because we are still in this trying time, but at least we're helping the economy with those little amount of money that you pay in the gym, right? And closer family ties. Well, we cannot deny the fact that we are more into social media or gadgets. So basically, those are hindrances for us to be maybe physically there with our family, but mentally and our presence is not actually there, right? We are our attention and connection isn't there. So if you do recreation, like for example, you're doing picnic, you're doing like outdoor recreation with your families, then you are spending the quality time and connections with your family, which will bring you closer to them, right? It will hurt like once a week you do that, then that's absolutely great. And this is the most important thing, it will absolutely help us gain or attain a holistic, healthy, being a holistically healthy individual. Because physically, mentally, and emotionally, things like those will be addressed, like problems with when it comes to your physical, mental, and emotional concerns will be addressed when you engage yourself in the recreational activities. So as a result, you will have positive outlook in life. So these are domino effects, and it all started by just simply engaging and indulging yourself in any recreational activities. So that ends our discussion three, and let's jump now to our discussion four, which our topic is more about recreation program planning and scopes of recreation activities. So these are the different recreational activities that I have mentioned earlier. So I will just be more specific and cite examples as to how it looks like. Okay, so let's continue. Let's expound this adage. To fail to plan is to plan to fail. We've maybe heard this several times, but let me reiterate this. Planning does not only, work here in the recreational planning, it's actually applicable in any walks of life, right? In our daily life, we plan. And if you don't plan ahead of time, it is just like saying to yourself that you are ready to fail. Okay? You're planning yourself to fail. Because if you do not plan ahead of time, you will not be able to foresee the possible things that might occur in the future, which will lead to failure. So it's very important to plan ahead of time. Most especially when it comes to recreational activities, you really have to plan in order for you to attain your objectives and the goals that you really wanted to hit in that particular activity. Okay? So let us now define what is planning. Well, planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and who will do it. It bridges the gap from where we are to where we want to go. So, pretty obvious, you are addressing all the possible concerns and problems by just simply planning ahead of time. Planning is important in documenting and keeping other people informed and updated. So, it will also allow the program to reach the objectives and goals, as I've mentioned earlier. So, through careful planning of a program or project, all difficulties will be foreseen and will be corrected, meaning to say, we are more into objective here and not being subjective. We are more on being proactive rather than being reactive, right? So we are planning ahead of time and we are addressing possible concerns. And that is really pretty awesome when you are doing recreational programs or events. So now let's jump to things that we have to consider in organizing a recreational activity. First is people. So, why is it people? Well, organizers must know the needs and interests of the people, right? When you are planning a particular activity, you have to consider the audience, right? The age, the gender, and the class of people where they belong must be first identified. Right? In order for the organizer to design an appropriate program for them, like for example, you are organizing a Zumba, Zumba activity for fitness recreation, then you have to identify who are my target participants. because you cannot be very effective Zumba instructor or Zumba organizer if you cannot identify that first. I mean, in what sense? For example, the music to be used must also be tailored with your audience. So they will enjoy and, be indulged more in the activity, right? So you really have to know the people first, your target audience, okay? Second, leadership. In what way? Well, through the expertise and guidance of the leader and the participants and subordinates, it can gain experiences that are both growth oriented and satisfying. Very true, because a good leader really knows how to plan ahead of time and how to address, concerns that must be foreseen in a bigger picture. So leadership is really, really important. It's a vital part in planning. And then, of course, these are also things that we have to consider: areas and facilities, right? Is it safe? Does it provide you the benefit of the people to enjoy the particular activity? Well, knowing the facilities or areas are free from danger, and it will help the program that was planned to be successful. Like, for example, in this time of pandemic, you have to consider the area, the venue, because we are more now into outdoor venue if you're doing activities, so you will not put your audience in danger, most especially with the COVID-19 virus, right? So you really have to know the exact things as this, the areas and facilities, in order for you to foresee the possible things that might cause failure to your event or activities. Okay? And then the last is finance. Well, financial problems may arise if there is insufficient fund. We cannot deny that. Well, proper allocation should be considered, because without money, there may not have recreational activities. Well, there are recreational activities that can still, go without money, but it would really be best if you have finance, so you will really, enjoy so much of your time with the recreational activity. So, budget is really very important. Now, let's proceed to the scopes of recreation. So, we have here first social recreation. So, how does it look like? Well, competitive element is actually de-emphasized here. It is not more into competing, how many friends do I have compared to her. This is actually an activity where it is more into friendliness, sociability, fun, happiness, and just, pure social graces. So, I think that's pretty much clear that when you say social recreation, it is more on, a social aspect, building connections, right, with your acquaintances. And then second is the cultural activities. So, a recreation that focuses on dance, dramatics, literary, mental, and linguistic activities. And as mentioned earlier, during the Spaniard period, this is actually one of the big influence that they have given to us, the fiesta celebration and all those kind of stuff, like the Sinulog festival. We dance with the music, and it's just really sad that we cannot do it anymore this time, but hopefully we'll go back to normal, so we get to enjoy those cultural activities again, right? And then third is outdoor recreation. Well, this encompasses any type of events that is being done outdoor, like examples: fishing in a mountain stream, or contemplating a brilliant sunset, and many other things that you can do outside of your comfort home, outside from the office or any establishment. Okay? And then the fourth one is fitness activity. So fitness activity, well, pretty much obvious. It focuses more on your health, for you to gain that physical fit body, and this is more into well-being. Okay, and focuses more into improving your physical health and holistic health rather. So it's more about activities that will address those things. And the fifth one is faith based activities. So, from the word faith, right? These are more focusing on the spiritual aspect of an individual, like for example, Bible study or going to church. That's actually those are activities that can be an example for the faith-based activities. The sixth one is hobby activities, anything that you love doing, well, when it comes to your interest. Okay, and that these are things that would really give us this free stress because this is really what you love to do. This is what you are passionate about. So those are hobby activities. And then special events activities. These are this really needs organization and planning, right? Coordination of personnel is really needed for this because these are special events, like for example, wedding, debut, birthday party, seventh birthday, golden birthday, or any other special events. Those are still part of recreational activity. And lastly, sports and games. Okay, a recreational activity that promotes healthy competition. So, unlike the social recreation, this one has competition, but this is actually more into healthy competition. So, the growth of sports and games, either in the form of actual participation or spectator interest, appeals to both young and adults. So, very, very important that we also engage ourselves to this because this will not only make us or enjoy our time or enjoy joining different games or sports. This will also gain you acquaintances, and also it will address some issues with your physical, mental, and emotional level because you will absolutely enjoy playing your favorite sports and games. So these are all the scopes when it comes to recreation. So thank you so much for watching our discussion 3 and discussion 4. If you have questions, just please do not hesitate to comment down below. And for those who students who have not attended the synchronous class, please I encourage you to put your name and your section and your block down below with your reflection as to what you have learned in this video or from this video. So I hope I was able to give you learnings from this, and I hope that I was able to impart some of my little dose of inspiration that everybody should indulge ourselves to any type of recreation that we are interested to for us to live life to the fullest. Again, this is your hashtag super energetic MJ. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day ahead. Do not forget to hit the likes button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys. Bye. Take care.